What's up, people? It's K Cram,
And this is Central Booking.
and this is the K Central Show. What's up, people? What's going on, Central?
Oh, nothing much, man. I was thinking about this thing on mental illness. I've been seeing a lot with the mass shootings and things that they've been having lately. And the politicians are blaming it more on the fact that these people who are doing these mass shootings are mentally ill.
They're mentally ill.
Yeah.
Personally, man, in my opinion, I mean, you can't stop the mass shootings. I think the mass shootings is something that's just gonna go on. We got. I mean, guns are flooding in this country. And a lot of people trying to say it's a gun control problem or whatever. But since I don't give a fuck, man. If I get bucked, I just get bucked, dog. It's like, nah, man. I don't want no niggas to
Well, it's 1 in 5 Americans is possibly mentally ill. So
really,
you know what I'm saying? That's at least 54 million Americans with mental illness. So you might get popped, K.
Yo, where did you get that statistic, man?
From NAMI. It's the National Alliance on
Nanny? I ain't getting no stats from no damn nanny. You said nanny?
NAMI.
Oh,
NAMI. NAMI.
They sound like they mentally
National Alliance for Mental Illness.
They sound like they're mentally ill with a name like Nammy. I mean, you sure how the fuck you gonna name your shit Nammy? Who does that?
Hey.
So is this a government website? I mean, what is this?
Yeah, it's a organization. I'm not gonna say it's a government website, but it's an organization, and they do a lot for people with mental illness. So if you do have mental illness, they have little tests and quizzes for you to look to see if you are or if you might need help.
But Central, my thing is, if a crazy person with mental illness wants to get at you, there's a whole lot of other ways to kill your ass.
True enough.
Than a gun.
True enough.
It ain't the gun. A gun ain't gonna sit there and shoot at you
automatically. Of course not,
automatically.
and I feel the same way.
It's the person behind the gun.
That's it. I feel the same way. But I mean, you got to think about this too. What's going to happen if me and you decide we want to go buy a gun? Are we going to have to go get a psych evaluation first?
Yeah. I mean, it may come to that. I think it may.
And that's what it's looking like to me.
I'm not getting no gun because I'm not passing, man. Shit.
Shoot, I might not pass either.
Right.
I've been under depression my own self. You know what I'm saying? Not to the point that I would kill myself or kill another person.
I think everybody but ain't depression a normal thing to have?
Yeah, but it's still a part of mental illness. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, it is.
Now you brought this mentally ill stuff up about, you was trying to do this show. You alright, Central? Is there something you trying to tell me, man?
Nah, yo.
You sure?
I'm good, yo.
I mean, if
it wasn't for people like you and certain family members, I might not be.
I mean, I'll call the medic bus right now, bro.
Hey, I might not. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
At one point, I might not have been good. I could have been one of these people who went out here and did one of these things.
Oh, man, I don't
from
think
that
so,
depression,
man.
But not to say,
I don't
like I believe. You know what I'm saying? If you got good people around you, people who really care about you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And who will look at you and see something's wrong and try to help you.
Act like they give a damn.
Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this might not happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just like with that little boy Dylan Roof.
Yeah.
You understand? He was looking for attention. You on social media posing with guns and the Confederate flag and you're talking all this stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying about how you're racist, you don't like black people, and all of this. You was really asking. It was really a cry for help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And your own family sat there and didn't help you.
Probably because they was racist. They was like, shit, all he doing is getting at the Negroes.
Now, but look where it got him.
I get the point.
Look where it got him. It could have been stopped, but not just him. How about that guy who was in Virginia who shot those 2 news people? He's not white.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now he was definitely. They said he was depressed, and they said
now his job could have helped him.
Right.
His job could have helped him. Instead, you looked at him as weird and you fired him, giving him the ammunition to go through the rest of that depression and decide this is the way I want to retaliate.
So do you think in this society we have like a low tolerance or we're very insensitive to people,
to other people's feelings. Yes.
In this society now.
Yes. It's why a lot of this is happening, I believe. Now that's just my opinion and belief. You know? Some of these people that if you look at them,
it makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, a lot of these people, there was a point of time where they were doing something to make a reaction in others to tell you they needed help. And it was ignored.
Or I'll tell you, case in point, if you have a mentally ill person around, and I know this firsthand with a mentally ill relative, and I'm not gonna say no names.
Yeah.
Where he got into the hands of the wrong person, who treated him like she didn't give two shits of a fuck about him.
Right.
And he reacted. And the reaction wasn't good. I'm not going to go into the whole story.
Yeah.
And I think with mentally ill people, you have to treat them, first of all, like human beings.
Yes.
But also, I think the system is broken. Because you and I know, a lot of times, they will release these people back into the street.
Yes.
Without really helping them.
Right. Before they really, before they really need to be out. And I've went through it a whole lot. You know, the family member that I'm talking about. You understand? And it's been a harrowing time. Come on, over 20 years of this. You understand? And it's not, and nobody's blaming her. You know what I'm saying? Because she has the problem. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times
the system is
the system is failing.
It's like they don't give a damn.
Right. Right.
It's almost like
now what happens when she's out here one day off her meds, and possibly has a gun or possibly doesn't. You understand? And she thrashes out at police because they've been called.
Yeah, and there's a lot of cases of that.
Yes.
There's been a lot of cases of
that.
Yeah.
And y'all they kill her. Hey, she put my life in danger.
Right.
You understand? Well, she didn't even have a weapon or a gun. Hey, she put my life in danger.
That's true. That's true. And I think, in a way, I think prison and mental illness kind of go hand in hand.
What makes you say that?
The prison system.
What makes you say that?
I mean, I just think some people, man, are mentally ill.
Right.
And society just locks them away.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
without the proper help.
Without the proper help. I think the prison system kind of profits.
Well, the government has kind of, and I'll say state governments have done away with most of the mental institutions that they used to have in order to help them.
And with 1 in 5 people.
Yes, 1 in 5.
Central.
Yeah.
That's crazy. See, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it was that high. Is it like depression sometime, or it's just straight out?
It's straight out mental illness. That person could possibly be mentally ill.
No wonder why they ran into so many damn crazy broads out here, man. That explains a lot of shit. Hey, man, thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, and they also say that 20% of African Americans possibly have mental illness and don't even know they have mental illness.
Really?
Yeah.
20% of African Americans.
20% of African Americans.
So we crazy as hell too.
Yeah.
America just a nation full of nuts. Is it higher in other countries? I mean, damn, a bunch of nuts running around, man.
Good possibility.
So, is it? I mean, a lot of people got that bipolaritis, man. Basically. A lot of people running around.
I mean, it's all different kinds. You got bipolar, schizophrenia, multiple personality disorder, OCD. The list goes on. So it's a whole lot out there. So,
do you think broken homes now? The fact that in the black community there are a lot of broken homes. Do you think
that probably does have a lot to do with it?
There's not a lot of fathers with the kids.
So a lot of kids
get diagnosed. Listen. A lot of these kids get diagnosed and medicated, and a lot of times all they need is a little discipline.
Right.
Because why is it all of a sudden now everybody has to have a pill?
Right.
It's like when I was in school. When I came out of school, I mean, I didn't see a lot of people medicated up. Now,
I think a lot of that has to do with the pharmaceutical companies and the fact of sales and that.
But how the hell this shit just happened that fast?
Like I
Listen,
said,
man, I ain't been out of school that damn long.
I understand. I haven't either, you know. So, like I said, it's that fact of pharmaceutical companies and the fact that they're seeing what they believe is out there, and so they're going to push their product to be sold. You understand? And if we even see a kid just a little hyper, he's ADHD. You know what I'm saying?
He might just be curious
he's
and
ADD.
smart. He might just be a curious, smart kid that wants to get into everything, or he might just need a little bit more discipline.
True enough.
So do you
but
think?
Then nowadays too, they don't want that kind of discipline. You know what I'm saying? The system has been set up now that if you use corporal punishment to a certain, you'll go to jail.
That's why I tell people.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to look at that part of the aspect too. That now it's all about positive reinforcement. You understand?
Yeah.
And reasoning with your child and things of that sort.
But didn't the Bible say kind of, spare the rod, spoil the child?
Hey.
I mean, ain't sometimes the best way to discipline a kid is, spank them. It's just like we was talking about, and I'm not going to get off, we're going to kind of go off mental illness just a little bit.
Okay.
But it's just like I was talking about Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
And if you saw the Jackson movies, he was a strict disciplinarian.
Yes.
Now, Michael turned out, I guess to people a little strange, a little weird.
Right.
But I don't think that was because of Joe. I just think because he just couldn't have a normal life.
Right.
And if you can't have a normal life,
I think it was still the traumatics of that. Now, not to say that it didn't do for him what Job wanted it to do. You understand? And that was for his boys to succeed.
But look at the end result.
You understand? True enough.
But
there were still some problems behind what he did.
Everybody got problems. I got damn problems. But look at the end result.
True enough.
Look at the end result.
I can't say that. I can't say that.
What do you mean?
You understand? Because I've been through those same kind of problems too that they went through. I've been abused and all of that kind of thing. I can't say that. I'm just now getting it right because of all of those kinds of problems.
Things you went through.
You understand? So you can't just say for everybody it works. You know what I'm saying? But on top of that, not to say that just because I was abused I couldn't succeed.
No, but
what I'm saying is I was never even pushed to.
I'm talking about over top abuse.
Yeah.
Now I understand. Listen, we don't need that.
Yeah.
I think that can create a certain amount of mental illness.
Yeah.
Because you can create a monster or a person that's very resentful and abused, and they just come out here crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's their reality.
Right.
And I think a mental illness kind of can be created.
Yes,
through an environment.
it does. It is. Some of it is.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching this movie. That my sister told me to watch. It's called Frankie and Alice with Halle Berry. You know, and she was playing the person who had a multiple personality disorder.
Right.
And it all started from a traumatic thing in her past. You understand? That she was going with some little white boy where she worked at, where her mom and them worked, because it was back in the 50s, so they were maids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she ended up falling for the little rich boy that was there. Mm-hmm. And so they had ran away because the brother's sister found out they were sleeping together. So they ran away together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they ended up getting in a car accident and he died.
Uh-huh.
And she ended up having a baby. You know what I'm saying? And her mom took the baby, and I don't know if she killed the baby or sent it up for adoption. So that created this trauma in her that ended up giving her multiple personality disorder. You know what I'm saying?
Because man, I've dealt with a female that firsthand who had I think mental disorder, because she was like a pathological liar.
Right.
You know, you ever ran into those people? I've ran into, they can't tell the truth about anything.
Right.
And I mean, they can't even really even lie straight.
Right.
You know, that's a disorder.
Right.
You know, you just have to try to deceive somebody, or
mm-hmm.
I've been around a cat, man. One of my old homie, man, that I actually liked this dude. He was mentally fucked up.
Right.
But he was the coolest dude. He was like, in high school he was fun to be around.
Yeah.
His name was Kenny.
Yeah.
It was just fun to be around.
Yeah.
Everybody knew this dude was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, because he would just do the most outlandish shit, but it was funny. But he was kind of functioning.
Yeah.
You know, you've been around people like that.
Some can and some can't. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it's all on how strong truly they are mentally. You know, for a long time, like I said, with my son's mom, for the first few years we were together, she was cool. You know what I'm saying? And then somewhere just snapped.
Just snap.
Just snapped.
I think a lot of that too is when you dealing with a mentally ill person, you can't get them emotionally stimulated. I notice a lot of mentally ill people that's really on that level.
Yeah.
Once they are emotionally stimulated,
Yeah.
it's like when their emotions is not tampered with, they cool.
Yeah.
Have you noticed they're like even, they're cool, they're not gonna react.
Right.
But when you emotionally stimulate them,
Right.
they don't get the thinking right. It's just like, for example, some of these white people will go listen to Rush Limbaugh,
Right.
who ain't right in the head. And personally, I think anybody that totally buys into this guy
Right.
ain't 100% right in the head.
Right.
I'm just being honest with you. I mean, you can see right through him listening to him.
Yeah.
You may hear another person hear him or Alex Jones or whoever these guys are and really take this shit to heart.
Right.
You know, because when you hear Alex Jones and him, hey, blah, 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 everybody gonna get their guns taken, you know, brother, we gonna die, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And some people might really believe this shit and arm up and be like, okay, I'm gonna go out here and do whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so if these many people are mentally ill, it can't be that bad. I'm gonna say why. Because if there's, you said 1 in 5 people,
Yeah. 54 million.
that'd be a lot more mass shootings. I mean, we ain't had 54
Sure
million
enough,
shootings.
but that's not the same. Wait a minute.
The numbers are, how many shootings have we had? We got to look at it.
All right, there's been about 42.
Okay, 42 millions in the past
42, nah. I would say 42 over the past 10 since the Columbine shooting.
So 42 shootings over the past 10 years.
Right.
So I mean, it's what, 300 million people in America?
Yeah.
So what are the chances of you really going out here getting shot by a mentally ill person?
True enough. True enough.
You know, so it's not really an out of control problem, but it is a problem that I know you and I've dealt with,
Yes.
and you've dealt with it more than I really have.
Yes.
So what is it about you that keeps attracting these mentally ill people, man? let me get my paper out and evaluate you, son.
I would just say because of what the family I come from, and as far as that, I just think because of that, certain people attract to me, whether I want them to or not. You understand?
Because you're tolerant of certain kind of people,
Right.
and you think that's why.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, fair enough, but I think, I do believe in mind over matter. If you change your thinking, sometimes you change your reality, man.
Yeah.
You know
Well, my mind over matter isn't trying to draw them to me. Especially not now.
Central, I'm getting a little worried with this podcast we're doing. So, I'm about to make a phone call to the folks, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Yeah, I understand you, but like I said, I'm hoping that mind over matter isn't drawing them to me. I'm trying to be a lot more sane than most people. So hey, but
yes,
that's
name
just
is
the way it is.
His name is Central Book and Rice.
Are you about to call on me? That's what that
I'm about
is.
to call the people, man. Got concern, man. But yeah, I think, man, as a whole, I don't think it's an out of control problem right now, but I do think it's something that needs to be addressed. And also, I'm thinking the issue in the black community, man, is I really think, and I'm gonna say this, and a lot of people gonna get mad when I say, I think it's really more than 20%.
Right.
I think
it could be, but like I said,
I think it's like 70% with us, and I'm gonna tell you why I think it's that high. It's not because we're like not in like. It's not like we're out of control crazy. I'm not talking that out of control crazy where you gotta be, but it's the way we think in America, in the way how emotional we are,
right,
in the way we think about America,
right.
I think we kind of crazy. Because my thing, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, if you
trying to
look
get a
through
different
history,
result.
fuck what I say. Fuck what I say. You ain't heard this shit from me. If you look through history now, if you look through history,
the Black Lives Matter.
you know. Now, see, that's an example.
Yes.
We keep doing the same thing over and over
again.
and we keep having the same
Result.
over, and we don't get it.
Nah.
But you know what? The answers have been here
Yeah.
for us. You know, we've been having the answers since what? I mean, what?
Since the 60s.
Probably before then.
Yeah.
I think since the 20s, right? 20s, 30s, Marcus Garvey.
Actually, no. Actually, since the end of the Civil War.
The end of the Civil War.
End of the Civil War.
We've had the answers.
We've had the answers because we were doing it then. You know what I'm saying? But then what it was that the Union soldiers could no longer protect us
Okay.
while we did what we did.
Did.
You understand? And so that put things back in disarray because of the Klan and other Southern white men at that time who didn't want to see us succeed. You understand?
Yeah, right.
So it put that all back in disarray again.
But we still stayed tight as a family, and
Yeah.
and we still were. And if you think about it, man, we were mentally
Yeah.
better
Yes.
than we are now.
Yes.
Now we just lost, man. And I mean, I don't know. You know, we may be headed for extinction. We just may be. I don't know. But Central, you all right, man?
Yes,
Why
I'm
your eyes
cool.
rolling in the back of your head? You take your medication, man. Anyway, I want to make it to say something, man. I mean, man, I want to say something, man. And this is off the subject, man. This is off the
Okay.
subject. You know me.
Go
you know
for
me.
it. Go for
You
it.
know I'm all over this goddamn place. But listen, I was on Facebook, and I saw a old friend of. Nah, I ain't gonna say an old friend of a relative of mine. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Okay.
Of an old relative of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember when I was a kid. I think she's probably like in her late 50s now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid, this lady used to raise hell. You know, she was hot in the ass. She used to she used to party.
Yeah.
You know, the barbecues and the projects. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Her kids turned out to be fucked up.
Right.
But it ain't all her fault. Some of them guys she had them babies with wasn't shit. But kind of is her fault. But you know, back then I guess they didn't have all the birth control we got now. So
Right.
I'm gonna give her a pass on the shit.
Right.
This show at least.
Right.
Next show I ain't giving nobody a pass. But listen, I see her on Facebook. You know how you just look up a name you ain't. And here she go with this Facebook, all holier than thou,
Oh man.
religious.
Uh-huh.
God loves us and all this shit. Now my thing is, chick, you ain't getting into heaven, man.
Right.
Why does these chicks look? Ladies, I know y'all gonna get mad when I say this shit. Why is it when y'all young, when Jesus needs you the most, ain't right?
Right.
When he needs you to act right the most. He wants you when you're young.
Right.
You act a goddamn fool. Then you hit your late 50s, 60s, 70s when you're crusty and musty.
You ready
Now-
when you
now
know,
you
when
wanna-
you think you're ready to die.
Right there, you want to get all religious and righteous. Man, that shit should be blasphemy, man. If I was Jesus, I'd be like, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Man, when I needed you when you was young, at the time I needed you the most to do my work.
Right.
You want to act a fool, but then you get old and crusty.
Right.
Then you want to get religious, man. You know, that's just the point I want to make, man. I've been noticing that, man.
Oh boy.
You know, because in some of these women raise some kids, and like I said, I ain't totally blaming them. 'Cause some of these dudes should have cared enough about their kids to really be in their kids' life. So I ain't
True
totally
enough.
blaming them. But some of these women raise some terrorists, man.
Yeah.
You know, they tow up shit.
Right.
Their kids grow up to tear up shit. Now their grandkids out here tearing up shit. You think Jesus gonna forgive you? Shame on you. Well, let's go on back to what I was saying, man. I just had to give that point a break.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not trying
That's
to.
your opinion. That's your
Yeah,
opinion.
and this, I'm not saying it's all older, you know, black women, but it's a large number of them that just get old. They get all nice.
Right.
You know, when they get older, yo, that's fake as shit. When I saw you back in the day, you was raising hell.
Right.
cussing. I mean, skirt all up. You understand what I'm saying? Shit.
Right.
Hell, arousing me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, God damn. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man.
Oh man.
You know, but back to the mental illness thing. I think a lot of the things that stem from the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah.
also is a part of this mental illness we have.
Right.
You know, I'm saying.
I definitely believe that too, because the fact of the
Because
matter
like, if you think about
it's like the kids
listen.
of that time, you know, and the fact that there weren't a lot of you know, together families, a lot of moms raising kids, they had men coming out, in and out, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of trauma from all of that. You know
unhealthy environments.
Right,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Pushed a lot of these kids into things that, you know what I'm saying, made them a certain way.
And a lot of these females were molested by the boyfriend
Yeah.
of the woman that was wild, because you know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, the holy endowed now, she was wilding out then.
Right.
Had men in and out, and
Yeah.
some of their daughters got molested. I hear girls all the time tell me, and more than I really even like to hear,
Right.
that one of her mother's friends
Yeah.
molested her. I've heard this a lot from women.
Yeah.
And a lot of these girls don't be right.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of decisions they make, it's borderline insanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think part of that so-called 20% steps into that. Even though I say 70%, we have 70% because of how we spend our money and how we live now.
Yeah.
But that 20% that they say that's really insane, I think a lot of that does have to do with trauma.
Yeah.
I mean, just in the homes.
Yes.
Neglect.
Yeah.
No support. No love.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
That's why man, when I look at the church and I see a lot of these old broads up in there,
Right.
you can look at them and tell they're from the ghetto and had a hard life, man.
Right.
Man, if they, hey, Jesus, don't give them a pass. That's all I want to say. Don't give them a pass, man. You deserve what you get, you know? And that's how I look at it, man. I think people are so insensitive to other people.
Yes.
People are all about themselves. To when we deal with another human being, we don't know how to treat another human being like another human being. And some people have been abused so much till if you try to treat them like a decent human being,
They don't know what that is.
they can't handle it.
Yeah. It's like they don't know what
They don't know what it is. They'll you're trying to help them and they'll turn on you.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. I do understand that. I've seen it before.
Oh, I've seen it, and I've seen it from both sides, men and women.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, as far as me being a black male, I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it where you try to help people, and they look at you, they mad at you.
Right.
Yo, motherfucker, I just try to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I'm just trying to help you. You're sitting here living with me.
right.
And I'm trying to help you. Why are you looking at me as the target of your hate or what have you, or your animosity? I didn't do none of those things to you. All I tried to do was sit here and help you.
All I was trying to do was tell you your girl was getting trains ran on a nightly. You mad at me?
Right.
I would have liked for somebody to tell me that, right?
Right. So
I
I could back up or be like, oh, damn, what,
damn.
it's like that? You know, I think it's time for me to leave.
Man, I had a situation where I tried to put a brother onto some knowledge, and he got mad at me. And I'm like, dude, you mad at me? You should be. But I started realizing he was kind of out there too,
Right.
kind of off.
Right.
You understand? So this mental illness thing, I think, is going to get worse. I don't think it's going to get
Of
better.
course, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's just the standards of society, the way it is right now, and we both kind of know what that is. That it's about business. Nobody cares about your emotions and how you feel. You understand? It's about business, and it's all about that dollar. And if you can't handle that, well, here's some medicine for you. Go and pass out somewhere.
Go and medicate.
Yeah.
Because
we don't need you. We need those that are ready to do business.
In America.
Yeah. You can be one of the people we look at in the amusement park. Oh, here the crazy people. Here the crazy people. Right here. Want to check them out?
Whoa, that's deep. You could be the news story for everybody.
That's it.
Keep the drama going.
That's it.
Hey, you got to keep Fox News going somehow, right?
That's it.
Seriously, they got to talk about something.
That's it.
Yeah, so if you're crazy ass,
yeah.
if you crazy and you go out here and you do something, hey, they just got another story to talk about.
That's it.
And while they make hundreds of millions of dollars and go home and live their comfortable lives, you know.
And something else happened at the amusement park today
In America.
That's it.
Wow, that's deep, man. And it's a cold way to look at it. It really is, but
Hey.
I think it's a factual way you're saying it, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's damn sure the way it is. It's just the way it is.
Yes, it is.
And a lot of people don't want to understand it. A lot of people don't want to grasp reality. I think reality is kind of sometimes. I think everybody has a moment of sanity, but I think sometimes you can wake up and grasp reality.
Yeah.
And some people don't like it. And like for example, I always go back to when I was really going to the club a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And we would roll up. You know, I would roll up in my white car with the brown hood. Remember that car?
Yeah,
I ain't give a shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, you know, I'm stepping out parking lot pimping. That was a good little car though.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You know, I'm stepping out. I'm parking lot pimping.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm trying to get some numbers. I'm like, if it ain't popping at this club, I'm going to go to this club.
Right.
You know, some nights it was real bad.
Right.
But then other nights it was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed some of my homies didn't handle that rejection well. When you saw another guy in the club with some rims,
Right.
I used to have one of my boys be like, man, I want to rob all these motherfuckers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and he just didn't handle that shit well.
Right.
I mean, he was a hater.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say he was a hardcore hater.
Yeah.
I never hated on them brothers because I was like, shit, whatever they do to get what they got, they work for it.
That's it.
I
I felt the same way.
I can't hate on them.
No, I couldn't either.
Yeah.
They got what they got, and if I couldn't get it, that's on me.
I gotta appreciate this white car with this brown hood.
Right. I gotta appreciate the fact that I just got the clothes good enough to come in the club.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't have a car.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping to get some holler.
Some nights you was riding with me in that brown hood.
That sure was.
But we had fun.
We sure did.
And
didn't let those kinds of things stop us.
But some brothers do.
Yeah.
And I think that's a mental illness.
Yeah.
So
possibly is.
So fellas, stop hating on the next man that got his shit together, because hating should be defined as a mental illness. You know what I'm saying, for real, man.
Hey.
Because you mad at this dude because he applied himself and you didn't.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to work the two at the time. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't want to work the 2-3 jobs to do what he had. I wanted my free time.
Right.
I did. So hell, this is
so
what I
you
get.
haters, stop being emotionally depressed.
And go and if you can, a lot of y'all just get your money up.
That's it.
You know, and if you hating on a dude, if he got a nice fine females, go on out there and talk. You know, don't let the mental illness haterade get to you. But this is the K Central Show.
That's right, with Central Booking and K Crim.
And in Central, man, he'll be at the Medic at 12 Janie Way. If y'all want to write him, you know what I'm saying? They about 5 minutes away, Central. What you want to say, man? We out?
Hey, we're out, and if you want to check us out, come and hit us up and say anything. We're at the K Central Show on Twitter, so check us out. And that's all I got to say tonight.